This is an auspicious time. This is the launch of the Maverick Speaker Coach. Last time I was talking about the word maverick, and I asked everyone their definition of the word maverick. And what stood out was getting out of the box. So today, in the next 15 to 20 minutes, what we're going to do is look at this box. How you created it. What's in it? And why is it there? And what's out of the box? Who wants to get out of the box? Who knows they are in that box? Who knows what's in that box that you want to get out of? 1, 2, 3. Now, can I ask Alicia what's in that box?
Everyday mundane things.
One, for example.
Cleaning, house cleaning.
House cleaning. All right. And how do we get out of that?
I have a maid.
Okay, great. That's a very practical example. And I know that all of us are faced with cleaning every day. Yes? Well, what makes us get in the box? How did we put cleaning within that box, inside that box? Let's ask Leticia.
Something I don't want to do.
Great. Something I don't want to do. So when you say something I don't want to do, what are you doing? Ron.
Something I don't want to do?
Yes.
I don't want to do paperwork
Right.
at work
Why is that?
because it bores me to tears.
Okay. So let's look at that.
Okay.
You're defining it within boredom, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Leticia is defining it within dislike. I don't like to do it. So in that box are likes and dislikes. You agree?
Yes.
Yes. So now, how come you want to get out of that box where you put things you define? You are the ones creating these things in this box. Why did you put that in the box? And then now you wanted to transcend that by doing something else. Why did you define paperwork as boredom? Why did Leticia define cleaning as a dislike? So let's ask Leticia.
I cooked and cleaned I was the oldest of 5 kids. Both my parents worked. I ended up cooking and cleaning for my family. And at the age of 14, I never wanted to cook or clean again.
Great. You got overwhelmed
I
with...
got overwhelmed by it, but it was just, I was 14. Traditionally, I was supposed to get married, have kids, and then cook and clean for everybody. I was horrified by that thought.
Okay. Because you had an experience that wasn't pleasant.
Right.
Not comfortable.
Right.
Right. So within the hair box exists a definition of comfort and discomfort. You agree?
Yes.
With Ron's definition of work and paperwork exists boredom. What activity doesn't bore you?
Play. I want to play.
Like,
Doing anything other than work.
give me one concrete example.
Golf.
Golf. Great. Now, within his definition exists the word paperwork and boredom, and then golf and enjoyment. Within this box exist 2 different definitions. And what is this box I'm talking about? This is the mind. Why? Because the mind exists within bias. You think, even the dictionary word think is defined as judgment. It doesn't see things as they are. It connects it to a positive and negative definition within bias. And so we do not see Ron for who he is really. We see Ron within our definition of likes and dislikes. And so when we speak, this comes out. We judge people. We say, I have a story to tell you, and when I was young, I did not like this guy, but I liked this guy, and I ended up marrying this guy, and then this speech wins the international contest, you see, because it was enacted properly, it has the structure. But what about the social context and the consequence of the words we speak? Have you actually thought about that? Thought, meaning looked at it. So rather than thinking, why don't we look at things as they are? So at the end of this speech, I would like for you to practice looking at things as they are rather than thinking about them within judgment. And if you can see that white paper in front of you, that is for you to put your name in. Would you be able to do that for me? Can you put your name in that paper, on that paper?
And what size? What size?
Huh?
Just play.
Just your name, because we're going, then the positive and the negative connections you put in that name. Because that is the first box that you actually created for yourself. There are so many boxes, because if you look at that, you actually have a box that contains names of your mother and father and the definitions you created for them. Within an interpretation that is made within that box. So how is it, or how do you experience yourself out of the box? Why do we want to get out of the box? If we want to get out of the box because of a reaction from something we dislike inside the box, that is still within a box. Because as you can see, the mind is programmed within bias. Let's see, for example, Ron hates paperwork. Now, in that other corner of the box is golf. So instead of looking at what is it that makes him bored while doing his paperwork, he wouldn't look at that. He would go to the other side and play golf, right, Ron? Now, what happens here is that you forget that to get out of the box, you have to look at the whole box to find out where the door is. Now, if the door is inside that corner where the paperwork is, you cannot get out of that box because you are resisting to look at that part of the box, correct? In our speeches, we'd rather talk about something because we're comfortable talking about it and because we want to entertain people in the audience. We try to find a topic that will entertain them. That is, in fact, going to one side of that box. In this other side of the box is me resisting something. What do I resist? Something you don't want to hear. And that's exactly where the maverick speaker comes in. Because I will tell you that which you don't want to hear. You know why? Because that is where magic happens. That is where you are free to express yourself. That is where you introspect and learn about yourself. That is where self-intimacy happens. And being the maverick speaker, you are stable. If you are functioning within a mind definition of being a speaker, here's what happens. If you are so used to giving impromptu speech, you can't give a prepared speech. Guess how I know? I did it. As you can see, I always stand out as an impromptu speaker. When I started trying to write down my speech, I had difficulty. Man, this is what happened to me. When I was here, I was thinking of what I wrote and comparing what I'm saying to what I wrote. Did that happen to you ever? Okay, but when I repeated it and practiced it for like about 5 times, it became automatic. Well, I questioned that even, because here's the point. If I am there speaking about something that I'm so used to speaking about, and then it's perfect, where am I at that point? Am I here? Or am I within a particular definition that I gave to structure and to how I should deliver it? So a maverick speaker can speak impromptu or a prepared speech. And first of all, a maverick speaker would release the definitions one has with regards to impromptu speaking and giving prepared speeches. Why? Because if one doesn't, one will exist within one's likes and one's dislikes. And if, for example, the audience likes prepared speeches, they're so used to hearing that and they like that, they will not like your impromptu speeches. And if you are an impromptu speaker, for example, and they like prepared speeches, they wouldn't vote for you. So it's not stable really. But because the maverick speaker does not depend on the audience really. Because you see, I enjoy myself because you know what? I talk to you about what I see within that box that you did not see. And whether or not you're entertained by that, it really doesn't matter. Guess why? Because as I enjoy myself, you automatically enjoys with me because within you, that is the real truth. So I'm hitting within you that point of oneness and equality within all of us, dust to dust. That means that all of us are really here to honor the truth that we are one and equal as each other within that point. Common sense. It's not rocket science. I do not need statistics or anything to prove that. By the way, did you put positive and negative words in there that you connected to your name? Good. So, that is the box that you created for yourself. In that box are these positive and negative definitions. My question is, what are you going to do about it? See, this is the maverick speaker. I push you to a point where you don't know what to do. This is where selling comes in. And real selling means that I'm not going to persuade you into something. Why? Because I'm just gonna ask you questions and you yourself will realize you actually put yourself in a box and you don't know that. Isn't that great? Don't you want to do that? That is freedom. And that is a maverick speaker. You see, you can release structure, but you can get in structure because you know exactly what it's for. What is it for? If speaking is about giving a message of oneness and equality for me. Why? Because everyone likes that. Everyone's true. It's true to everyone. It's the basic principle. principle of life. We are all here, so we better take care of each other. Who can deny that? You see. So that being a maverick speaker is not actually being a loner, as one of you said last time. It is actually embracing every part of life. And within that, you embrace all parts of you and you enjoy that expression. It is just that we have to redefine and look at the definitions we put on we put inside that box. And so the Maverick Coach works with you in terms of releasing those positive and negative definitions within bias. And I'm using a software for that Leon and me already is using. And it has been researched and it has been applied. Now, what I want you to do is, if you really are interested in releasing the positive and negative definitions you connected to your name, you can pass that paper to where I'm sitting. And then I'm gonna look at it. And if you want, you can actually contact me and ask me what this is all about, to get more perspective on whether or not this works. Or is it gonna work for you or not? But in this Maverick Speaking Coaching Program, we're gonna look at things that limit you that you don't even know exist. Do you need a Maverick coach to help you? That is the question. If you have so many words and you're not even aware that this one word, which you carry with you every day, which is your name, you don't know that you connected this to this positive and negative definition, and you're saying this is me? So part of the Maverick Speaking Coach program is to help you walk the talk like I walked my talk, and then show you the door that opened for me. And that is my gift to you today. That is free. If you call me and ask me about what you wrote there in that paper, that is free.